Welcome to ESPN's Saturday Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy. You're watching the ACC on ESPN. And we got a good one for you today here with the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill. The visitors are the Virginia Cavaliers, 3-1 in league play, as they have come to Chapel Hill to take on the Tar Heels, 2-1 in ACC action, as we really now start to get going in earnest in conference play. In the ACC, hey, up at the top, it's Miami and Louisville, both 4-0. Miami, by the way, is at Duke tonight, and Virginia and Carolina in a key afternoon matchup here at the Smith Center. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Chapel Hill. Dan Schulman, J-Bill is very glad to have you along with us. This is going to be an interesting game for both teams. They'll find out a lot about themselves, I think, this afternoon.
Well, anytime North Carolina and Virginia get together, it's a slower pace than North Carolina wants. It's going to be a meat grinder played in close quarters and very physical. And the size advantage goes to North Carolina. And inside, Armando Bacot has been the Tar Heels' most consistent player. He's averaging 15 points, 10 rebounds per game. He's got 10 double-doubles on the season. And North Carolina, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country, shooting over 40% with 3 of their starters. Now, Dawson Garcia not playing in this game, but all shooting over 40% from 3. And for Virginia, this is a team that defensively, again, is very good. Close quarters, they are very physical. It's not a big team. And they have had difficulty shooting the 3, but they've got to make some shots in this one. Kihei Clark has been shooting over 42%. That's a career high for him from three-point range. Armand Franklin has not shot the ball as well as he's capable. He's got to knock down some threes in this ball game against North Carolina.
Tony Bennett in his 13th season as the head coach in Charlottesville, 3-time National Coach of the Year, 4-time ACC Coach of the Year, and of course a national championship in 2019. And on the other side, in his first year as the head coach of the Tar Heels, Hubert Davis. Played here in Chapel Hill, of course, had a very nice NBA career. 7 years working at ESPN with yourself, Jay, and others, and then for the last 9 years an assistant to Roy Williams. And now Hubert Davis taking over as the head coach this year. Both coaches talking a little bit about, consistency with their teams. How about Virginia? They have won 7 in a row in this rivalry. That's the longest win streak for Virginia in this rivalry since they won the first 8 between them over 100 years ago.
Seems unfathomable, but this North Carolina team wants to get out in transition. Got a foul on the drive by R.J. Davis, but this team wants to get out in transition. And Virginia makes it very difficult with their pack line defense and the fact that they don't send a lot to the offensive glass for you to get out in transition.
Again, Brady Manick is starting for North Carolina. Again, Dawson Garcia, the Marquette transfer, is out due to a concussion. They are also without Kerwin Walton. In COVID protocols, they do expect to get Justin McCoy back today from COVID protocols. The Virginia transfer, and how about the block by Caden Shedrick, who is 3rd in the ACC in that department.
He really covered a lot of ground. They trapped that ball screen action. He got all the way back to the rim to block that shot. Now, that's going to be something to look for. Virginia has changed up its defense a little bit. A lot more trapping than they've done in the past out of that pack line.
Shot clock running down. It's down to 6. Shedrick left it short. Rebound down to Caleb Love.
Anytime North Carolina gets a long rebound, they're going to try to look to run.
A good catch there by R.J. Davis to save Armando Bacot from a turnover.
And walked a tightrope so as not to step out of bounds.
Davis baseline drive. The kick to Love. Open for 3. Rebound Bacot.
Bacot just more physical than Caden Shedrick. Pushed him out of the way. I thought he had 2 hands in his back, but just a physical rebound by Armando Bacot to get that bucket.
Coming off a career-high 17 rebounds in the loss up in South Bend on a Wednesday night. Jaden Gardner, the transfer from East Carolina, having a terrific season for the Hoos.
Well, this is the first time he's played in this building since high school, the North Carolina State Championship game. He had 30 points and 13 rebounds in that one. You're not going to find a better mid-range big guy in the ACC than Jaden Gardner.
Interesting matchup with Manek. Here comes the double team. Virginia loves to do it. They'll force you to pass the ball out of there, and it's a turnover. Clark with a reverse, and too much length there for Leaky Black.
Brady Manek dribbled out of that post-to-post double team, but then he picked his dribble up. And you can't pick it up until you have somewhere to throw it.
Second block of the afternoon for Shedrick. Virginia in transition. And the three rattles out on Kihei Clark, who's shooting it extremely well this year. 42% from beyond the arc on the season.
That's a career high. Caden Shedrick of Virginia is going to be a great player. I mean, you can see him advancing. It almost seems like game to game, and one of the best shot blockers in the country.
Black to a wide open Brady Manek. He can do this. And Baycott can do that.
That was a great pass out of the double team off that ball screen action. The trap, and then they were able to throw cross court to Brady Manek, who's a stretch four. So you got two on the ball. All of a sudden, a long closeout for Gardner. Then who has to block out Armando Baycott? Reese Beekman. And that's a mismatch down low. Carolina has to continue to take advantage of that if Virginia continues to trap.
Baycott, the junior from Richmond, Virginia, misses the free throw, but having a terrific year, averaging almost 16 points per game and leading the ACC at better than 10 rebounds per game.
I'm mesmerized by how Tony Bennett's dressed. He looks like he's going to teach an English class, or maybe he's got a tea time. He doesn't even have a logo on, does he?
A relaxed look for most of the coaches here this year. Beekman defended well, taken away by Love. Numbers. Manek.
That's what Hubert Davis wants to see out of Caleb Love. Davis believes that Love can be one of the best guard defenders in the country. He's strong, athletic, just needs to put better pressure on the ball.
And without question, Love having a better year this year as a sophomore than he did last year. The numbers for him and R.J. Davis at the offensive end, both of them much improved over a year ago.
Love is shooting 44% from three. Last year he shot 27%.
Wide open. And Kihei Clark will bury this one.
And one thing you cannot allow Kihei Clark to do is you just can't dare him to shoot. He was wide open there. That was a shot you get in a game of horse.
His 108th game, his 88th start for Virginia. 4 minutes in, a 1-point lead for the Heels, and when we come back, Armando Baycott going 94 feet with Jay Billis.
I don't know if I can make it. That's a long walk.
94 feet with North Carolina's Armando Baycott. All right, tell me, I know you eat well. Tell me one thing you eat that you're not supposed to eat.
Ooh, Micah nuts. I love Micah nuts.
What is that?
It's like a little chewy candy.
All right, what have you binge watched lately?
The Hundreds and Prison Break. I've been having so much time, so just watching old stuff that I already finished.
What's better between the Hundreds and Prison Break?
Prison Break. Michael Schofield is a genius.
All right, you just made the Dean's List. What do you get for making Dean's List?
Nothing, a pat on the back.
I understand that you have a hamburger named after you here in Chapel Hill called the Mondo Burger. What's in it?
Bacon, cheese, lettuce, and barbecue.
Can you eat more than one?
You can, yes.
All right, have you heard Hubert Davis curse yet?
Never. Not once.
How about Coach Levi?
A lot.
I knew it. 94 feet.
I like to tease Lebo. We played against each other a million years ago. He's a great coach and a great guy. His son Creighton plays on the team.
Jeff Lebo part of the staff now. And here at North Carolina, shot clock down to 3. Turnaround, Jaden Gardner. And again, having a terrific year. And at 6'6", Jay, he's got a knack for getting his shot off against bigger defenders.
He just knows how to score. He can fade away with that little turnaround jumper. He's got a great jab step. He can face up. He's just wired to score.
I'm wired to get a Mondo Burger right now.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
It really does. Manek with a corner 3. He made 235 threes in 4 years as an Oklahoma Sooner. And again, it's a bit of a different look for Carolina, both with Manek and Dawson Garcia when he is healthy. They're more stretch bigs than go crash the offensive glass bigs.
Yes. Manek spends most of his time on the perimeter. Great pass. Just couldn't corral it.
And saved by Davis, walking the tightrope for the second time today.
Maddox makes it a little more difficult for Virginia to bring that post-to-post double because he's not down on the low block. So it spreads the floor a little bit more. A little horn set for North Carolina. Hubert Davis wants his team to play with more pace offensively. Good little pin-in screen for Maddox, just couldn't knock it down. But he wants them to play faster in their half-court offense.
He wasn't thrilled with the effort up at Notre Dame on Wednesday. The Irish beating the Tar Heels 78-73. Conversely, Virginia playing its third league road game in a row, and they won the first two as Beekman gets to the bucket. Virginia winning at Syracuse and at Clemson, so they are now 3-1 in league play.
That was too long of a drive to allow to Reese Beekman. He is not a shooter. You can't just let him turn the corner from 20 feet away, get all the way to the basket. And that probably was the most disappointing thing. Good pass by Maddox.
And the finish for Bacot.
But that was probably the most disappointing thing, I think, for Hubert Davis and his staff, was that North Carolina did not put a lot of pressure on the ball. Notre Dame could run their offense with comfort. It was a comfortable game for Notre Dame, and your defense wants to make the opponent uncomfortable.
Beekman guarded by Love. Now back to Clark with 10 to shoot.
Got a switch.
Will he drive Manic? He'll pull up and knock a three off the front of the rim. Long rebound out to Beekman.
Well, if you can't grab it, knock it back out. That could start a Carolina break, but it also gives you another possession.
Cody Statman in off the bench for the Cavs, number 23 in blue. Beekman off a curl, floater. Knocked away, shot clock down to 3. Clark knows it. Gardner missed it. And boy, somehow with how long they were down there and all the looks they got, they can't score. And then Carolina back in the blink of an eye.
Another great rebound by Armando Bacot. I think that's his 4th of the game. And then Brady Manic with a terrific rim run.
And they are into it here in this matinee at the Dean Dome.
Even on that last possession, even though it lasted forever, Carolina did some good things. They just didn't finish it.
Reese Beekman, as Jay said, not known for his three-point shot. That is his 7th made three on the season.
One of the best defenders in the country, Reese Beekman.
And that's why he's on Caleb Love.
He just got great awareness.
Davis got a good look at a three. Another rebound for Bacot.
Bacot is big, he's long, but he goes to the glass every time. He just gives great effort on the glass.
Already 5 boards on the afternoon for Armando Bacot. Statman in trouble, and that's going to turn it over. Carolina by 3, and a big guy, Jay, doing some big guy things.
This is how you get a burger named after you. You go to the glass and score.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. It's the one when you've got to get stuff done. And a couple of guys who got stuff done shooting the ball, the 2 head coaches, Tony Bennett of Virginia and Hubert Davis of North Carolina. Tony Bennett, the all-time NCAA leader in three-point percentage, better than 49% in his career at Green Bay. And Hubert Davis shot over 43% from beyond the arc as a Tar Heel, and is second to Steve Kerr on the all-time NBA list for three-point percentage. So we've got a couple of guys, when they talk shooting at practice, players better listen up.
I think you called this the best shooting matchup among coaches in history. I think that's giving short shrift to the Dean Smith-Terry Holland matchup years ago. Both those guys could drill it.
They still talk about that in these parts, don't they? The video's a little grainy. Speaking of a guy who knows something of both of these programs, Justin McCoy is into the game for North Carolina. He is a Virginia transfer from Raleigh, played high school basketball in nearby Cary, North Carolina, but spent a couple of years in Charlottesville, but has transferred to Carolina this year as Anthony Harris is in off the bench and knocks down the corner jumper.
They had a foot on the line, but the good ball movement if Virginia is going to continue to try to trap ball screens, if Carolina throws out of it, they're not only going to have opportunities for open shots, but it could open up the offensive glass. And Armando Bacot has already made a living off that in this game with 3 offensive rebound stickbacks.
Tony Bennett a little bit deeper into his bench as well. Francisco Cafaro is in. Also Tane Murray. That's Murray taking the 3. Right now, Virginia not getting a ton from its bench, although Cafaro did give them a good effort in their last game, a win over Clemson. But Tony Bennett's kind of tightened up the rotation a little bit in the last couple of conference games. Crowd wanted Bacot to take a 3. He made his first ever 3 last week at Boston College.
A good take by Justin McCoy. Used his strength, got into the body of Murray and drew the foul.
Well, tomorrow afternoon on ABC, it'll be Cincinnati taking on Memphis, 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific time. A little American Conference action for you. All kinds of talent on that Memphis roster, but it's been an up and down season for the Tigers so far.
Well, Jalen Duren is a man. Just a freshman, 18 years old. And he is a lottery pick.
Second foul on Murray. He goes to the bench. McCoy at the line said he, tried not to make too much of playing against former teammates. Didn't want to let that take over his thoughts heading into this game. He's also coming off missing a game due to COVID protocol, so he's got a couple of things going on here as he gets back into action for the Heels.
Well, he feels the emotions of it. I mean, Hubert Davis even said when he got traded from the Knicks, he wanted to give the Knicks 30 the first time he played them. Got to go up with that. That's got to be shot. You get within 2 feet of the basket, you have to go up.
Cafaro kicked it back out. Now Armand Franklin, very strong on the 3, as Jay mentioned earlier. He's a really good shooter, but he's not shooting well this year. How about the defense? Both Beekman and Franklin were there. And the Cavs racing down the court, which you don't often see them do. And in transition, Kihei Clark with a layup.
Just a really good decision by Clark. And how about the way he used his body to shield off the ball and finish that play? Great hesitation move to get there.
Little look away by Caleb Love and a soft touch to feather it in.
When he combines his perimeter shooting with strong drives, nice little Euro step to finish that. Caleb Love is much more efficient this year than he was last year as a freshman. Virginia running that blocker mover, they call it sides. So they'll have 3 cutters. The 2 big guys serve primarily as screeners and then scorers after they set a screen.
And Gardner fouled by McCoy.
Caleb Love catches this pass. Little shot fake. Got a very good defender, Kihei Clark, off balance and then drove the closeout. Just really smart play by Caleb Love. And that's one of those things, Dan, where you hear coaches saying he slowed down this year. We slowed down there by making the shot fake, then the move.
Gardner misses the turnaround. Back come the Heels. 7th rebound in the game for Armando Bacot already.
Heck, he had a double-double at halftime against Notre Dame.
Well, I tell you, Love gave Beekman every move that he had right there, and Beekman stayed with him. That was good offense and better defense. And here's more good defense by Beekman.
Reese Beekman is like a great. Yeah, that was nothing there. Everybody's worried about him throwing the ball to Caleb Love. But Love just wasn't looking. That was no big deal. But Beekman's like a great defensive back or great safety. He reads the eyes of the passer and has great anticipation for the play. But after he laid it in, he caught the ball and then threw it to Caleb Love. Love wasn't looking, and it kind of caught him in the head.
Beekman leading the ACC in steals at better than 2 a game, and he's brought Virginia back within 3.
And Virginia's numbers, because they don't have as many possessions in their games, those numbers would be even higher with a higher possession team.
Anthony Harris getting more minutes lately for Carolina. Beekman got a finger on that, and Love gave it up to Bacot. So again, Beekman's defense figuring in the end result of that possession.
And you wonder if Caleb Love was trying to go at him a little bit just because of what happened after that last bucket.
Gardner fouled again by McCoy. A little bit of intensity here in the Dean Dome right now.
Kevin and Coach in studio. Zach, Edey, and Purdue off the loss to Wisconsin. They picked it up against Penn State.
Yeah, Purdue does a great job of isolating their bigs on the block. Look at Edey take over his right shoulder. Rare. Edey and Williams have gone for 17 and 12 rebounds so far in this game. I said they're doing a good job getting to him on the block.
Dan and Jay.
Kevin, Coach, thank you very much. Purdue, a powerhouse this year. They are ranked 3rd. Number 2, Duke will host Miami later on tonight on the ACC network. Miami unbeaten in ACC play at 4-0. And Michigan State down there in the 10 spot. They were supposed to play Michigan today, but some COVID issues in the Wolverines program. So they are on pause, at least for the moment, as the Hall of Famer Roy Williams is in attendance here at the Smith Center watching the Heels.
Now, Roy Williams just had knee replacement surgery, so he's hobbling around a little bit, but he'll be able to play golf without pain. Move over to his left side a little bit after a good turn, get a little more distance.
And if you don't think the surgery was time to get him back out on the golf course in the spring, you don't know Roy Williams very well.
You would be mistaken. His lovely wife, Wanda. He says he's had the same putter and the same wife for 40+ years. Smart people don't ask which is more important. Good pass.
But through the fingertips of Bacot.
The Carolina is doing a good job of throwing out of that ball screen action, and then Bacot just rolled right to the basket. Once you throw out of it, you have an opportunity to hit that cutter, the roll man.
There are 4 players in the game who have yet to come out. Love, Davis, and Bacot have played every second for Carolina. Kihei Clark's played every second for Virginia. As again, Gardner, just with his strength, he's only 6'6", but with his strength, he can get to the rim.
He showed everything in this game. He's had the turnaround jumper, a little fadeaway. There he faced up and just blew by Brady Manick.
Ooh, and a break for Carolina on that play. It's going to be off Clark and out of bounds to the Heels.
Gardner is just one of those guys at 6'6". He started off his career at East Carolina. Averaged about 19 points, 9 rebounds a game. Was All-American Athletic Conference there. But he's just wired to score and knows how to play.
Good pass out to Love. Passed up the 3. Drives on Statman. Floater won't go. Got it back. Missed again. And now numbers for the Who's.
3-on-1.
Clark blocked by Davis.
So a little surprised that Clark didn't give the ball up there. He had a 3-on-1 against R.J. Davis, and Davis made a stand. Got back, went up, blocked the shot. I thought he might have dumped it off to Franklin there for the easy bucket. Usually Clark always makes the right decision.
And now he sits down for the first time today as Beekman, who was out just briefly, comes back in. Beekman and Clark both averaging better than 4 assists per game, both in the top 5 in the ACC. Statman blocked by Leaky Black.
Statman had Kafara wide open in the post, but didn't give it to him.
In transition, Davis misses the 3. Great rebound by Gardner.
Here's the guy that's got to get going. Armand Franklin has to give some points to Virginia.
Francisco Cafaro steamrolled Armando Bacot, and he gets called for the foul.
That's part of the physical nature of this game, right under the basket. Maybe a little bit extra in it by Bacot, but a smart play to get the foul call.
So Cafaro to the bench, and the starter Caden Shedrick back in the middle. You know, a little bit interesting, kind of tough to sort out the ACC right now. Everybody knows that Duke's got a terrific team, and then again you look at Miami and Louisville, both 4-0 in league play. Miami, all 4 of their wins by 5 points or fewer. Louisville, all 4 of their wins by 8 points. Actually, the other way around. Miami by 8 points or fewer. Louisville by 5 points or fewer. A ton of close games in the ACC. And right now, Jay, it feels to me like kind of 2 through 10 or whatever you want to say. It's tough to separate some of these teams in the league to figure out who's going to have a really good year.
Well, this is a team, North Carolina, that I think can separate to get up near the top of the league and challenge Duke. You know, Duke, I feel, is the best team this year. But outside of that, you know, nobody's really established themselves yet.
You know, Wake Forest has had some good moments.
Really good.
Yeah. And right now you're kind of looking at Florida State and Virginia Tech, wondering if they will get going the way we have seen them get going in the past. As Baycott is called for a foul underneath.
That's that action where you come off the low screen and that mover blocker and curl it. Here's Baycott just going over that left shoulder. Tough shot, able to make it over Gardner. But any time that a Virginia player curls off a big guy, that big guy is going to go to the basket. And that can be really tough to guard. That was a great little pocket pass to Shedrick. He just needed to go up right away. He hesitated and allowed the defense to recover.
Rare minutes for Carson McCorkle, who has appeared in 10 games and not played in either of the last 2, averaging 6 minutes a game in the ones in which he has played, and a nice mid-range jumper to make it a 1-point game.
Yeah, Virginia needs Cody Statman and Carson McCorkle to knock some shots down. Here comes that post-to-post double.
Manick finds Love, and Love is fouled on the drive.
Well, you cannot foul a driver when Shedrick is back there to be able to block the shot.
Well, it's the final week of the regular season. We've got a doubleheader for you today and tonight here on ESPN. It'll be the Chiefs and the Broncos. The Chiefs still fighting for the #1 seed in the AFC. And then the Cowboys and the Eagles tonight at 8 o'clock. A special edition of NFL Countdown kicks off our coverage right after our game today here on ESPN. Wow, deep range for Caleb Love.
Give him a little bit of space, and he'll pull the trigger. A different player from the perimeter this year as opposed to his freshman year last year, where he had some great moments.
And how about that steal? 3-on-2 heels. Love again.
That's the Caleb Love that Hubert Davis wants to see. Not just the one that can really score, but the one that can impact the game on the defensive end. Knocks down the 3 on one end and shoots right over the top of a screen to intercept that pass. He's got a 3-on-2, pulls up, he's got offensive rebounding, knocks it down. Great play by Caleb Love.
Kevin Connors, Coach Seth Greenberg. The Jeep halftime report is on the way. Coming up, we'll check in on Edey and Ivy and the Boilers in the Big Ten, plus the new weapon at Coach K's disposal. Speaking of Duke, Coach, the only ranked ACC team right now. How does that impact the ACC's chances for the tournament?
The league builds its resume like you defend a post. You got to do your work early. And the ACC hasn't done their work early. So you have Duke and the rest of the field. My question for you, Jay Billis, well, how does that impact the number of teams that can make the NCAA tournament from the ACC?
Yeah, it's a great question, Seth. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure anybody is. It makes your game against Duke even more important to have a high-value target. But maybe some of these teams, whether it's Louisville or Miami, North Carolina, can start separating. But you're right. I mean, this is the first time in 40 years that in the AP poll, only one ACC team got a vote.
Shot clock at 7 for Virginia. Beekman. Follow tipped around, but not in, and down with it, Leaky Black for the heels.
Black grabbed that rebound from behind his neck.
Black in a couple of games this year has played in excess of 20 minutes and not even attempted a shot. He's a facilitator, a defender, the Swiss Army knife, if you will, of this North Carolina team.
Well, that was a quick trap to knock that ball away off the ball screen action.
Manick. And the weak side rebound for Shedrick. That is Shedrick's first rebound in the game. He's got a couple of block shots, but he hasn't scored, and that was his first rebound.
He's had some opportunities to score, but he's just hesitated instead of going straight up. Great curl of that screen by Armand Franklin, the transfer from Indiana. He's a really good scorer, but has struggled to shoot the ball as well as he normally does.
And just 22% of the year from three-point range, 61% inside the arc, though. Baycott putting together a big first half. Rebound down to Gardner.
Well, with Brady Manick playing so much out on the perimeter, North Carolina's not as potent of an offensive rebounding team. They only have one guy, Baycott, near the basket all the time on offense. Just Take a look at Armand Franklin here. Coming off this, he just curls when he catches it and catches it on the run. I mean, you've got to get between him and the basket off that screening action. He's going to be able to turn the corner and get to the bucket.
To your point about Carolina and offensive rebounding, they were first in the nation in offensive rebounding
Pass.
percentage last year as Bacot finishes on the feed from Love. No need for an offensive rebound on that play. They are 163rd in the country in offensive rebounding percentage this year.
Overall, still an excellent rebounding team. They're out-rebounding their opponents by close to 9 a game, but they're just not the same because of personnel. I mean, last year they had, Day'Ron Sharpe, Bacot, Walker Kessler. They had a lot of big bodies that were packing the paint. This year they're more perimeter-oriented.
Garrison Brooks as well. Franklin, back-to-back buckets for Armand Franklin.
He has got a really good mid-range game. That's something about him. On the scouting report, it says don't let him shoot it from the catch spot. Now, that's on threes, but when he puts the ball on the deck, he can pull up and make those shots.
Manick looked inside for Bacot, didn't have him. Now Love.
Carolina's just got to throw out of those doubles.
Another deep one, and this one off the dribble for Caleb Love, who's now into double figures.
That tends to open things up for drives when you can knock down perimeter shots and stretch this pack line defense out.
Early on, it was Bacot and Manick. Now it is Love who has led the Heels to their largest lead of the afternoon. Franklin. Gardner tips it back out. Beekman open. In and out on the three. Boy, they needed that one.
Well, you're not going to get a better shot. Reese Beekman's had a terrific first half. Great drive.
Shedrick altered and maybe blocked the shot. Might have gotten a fingertip on it, and it's back to Virginia.
Well, that's why, Dan, you don't want to foul. If you foul on that drive, it takes away Shedrick's opportunity to block or change that shot. And he's such a great shot blocker.
About a 5-6 second difference between the game clock and the shot clock.
Franklin was curling that action again. Just the pass wasn't in the right spot.
Tough one off balance by Clark, but he's hit on the elbow and will shoot a couple.
Caleb Love getting the double team. What a great pass. He was expecting that double and was able to throw right through it. And then the little rhythm dribble to get to that long three. That was NBA plus. These are Virginia's first free throws.
These are Virginia's first free throws, and Carolina has not made a free throw. So that's the first made free throw in the game for either team, and it comes with 6 seconds left in the half.
Just caught him on the elbow as he went up for that shot. Good call by Roger Ayers.
3 seconds left in the half. Davis gets it off. And the first half comes to a close here at the Smith Center with Carolina leading Virginia 31-25. We invite you to join us again for the second half, but now back to the studio for the halftime report with Seth Greenberg. Here's Kevin Connors. ESPN Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. This afternoon, the Cavs and the Heels, and in the first part of the game, it was Armando Bacot dominating inside, and then Caleb Love took over for a while outside between the two of them, and Brady Manick chipping in as well. North Carolina's got a 6-point lead going to the second half here at the Dean Dome. The Heels 31 and the Who's 25. Welcome back inside the Smith Center. Dan Schulman and Jay Billis. What'd you make of the first half?
Well, it's going to be hand-to-hand combat the whole game. This is not going to be pretty, and the team that defends better, I don't think that's a news flash. The team that defends better is going to win the game.
Let's take a look at our net gains now, brought to you by SoFi.
Virginia has been bringing a trap off of ball screen action. That brings 2 to the ball, and it's a good recognition on this double team to throw out of it. And that means that Jaden Gardner here is guarding 2 guys, Bacot, and then he's got to close out to Manick. That means a smaller guy is going to have to block out Armando Bacot. He winds up getting a 3-point play opportunity here. Then Caleb Love does a great job here of shooting the gap to intercept this pass and take it the other way. He's got a 3-on-2 Now, oftentimes that'd be get to the rim, but he knows he's got rebounding there, not just with those two guys, but Brady Manek coming from behind. That's a terrific job by Caleb Love, who really had a good half, not only offensively with 10 points, but played some good defense.
Baycott 12 points and 8 rebounds. Love, as you mentioned, with 10. Leading scorer for Virginia, Reese Beekman with 7. Gardner and Clark each with 6 as we are underway in the second half.
Virginia starting with a little two-man game, and Jaden Gardner does not miss many of those shots.
Love trying to turn the corner. Too strong off the glass. Baycott, though, deliberately tipping it out to Manek.
But Baycott is so smart. When he can't grab it, he will keep it alive, knock it to a teammate.
How about this one? We have seen Love hit a couple of deep ones. Manek gets a clean look. Manek not shooting it as well this year as he did as a Sooner, but still a threat from beyond the arc as Leaky Black a little bit slow getting up.
I think in the second half, Virginia is going to have to look to Jaden Gardner to really get going. When he's had the ball in the low post, he's made some good plays. I think he had 6 points in that first half, but the more opportunities he has to touch the ball, I think the more good things will happen for Virginia offensively.
He is their leading scorer on the season at better than 15 points per game. Clark into Gardner and rejected by Baycott.
Boy, what a block with the left hand.
Black, nice cross-court look. Manek in the corner. Counter.
Well, that's just great offense. The ball screen roll, shake action from the corner, and then looking opposite to a spread floor to Brady Manek, the stretch 4.
3 Tar Heels now in double figures. And this is the largest lead of the game for Carolina. Franklin.
That was a tough shot. Baycott was right there to challenge it.
Nice look ahead. Davis to Love. And Virginia does well to get back in transition.
Good ball movement.
They took advantage of the mismatch inside. Timeout, Virginia.
Beautiful ball movement by North Carolina to get the ball from the right side of the court to the left, and the immediate look inside off the mismatch with Franklin guarding Baycott.
The College Football Playoff National Championship, Georgia, Alabama, Monday at 8 on ESPN.
Well, everybody's talking about it, an SEC matchup for the national championship. Say, Jay, who you got?
I got Alabama. It will not be a tie, though.
Oh,
this is a tie, but it won't be a tie. I think they're going to win.
Well, I don't want to be difficult or anything, but
Wrong one.
no, it's the right one. I switched it when you weren't looking.
Is that a rental jacket?
Yes. The socks are mine to keep, though, apparently.
I wouldn't have shown that label if I were you.
Gardner and a much-needed bucket for the Cavs.
He is just a mid-range savant.
A guy who has gone from East Carolina to Virginia and is still putting up big numbers. Anthony Harris again getting some minutes. He's averaged about 16 minutes per game the last 4. A guy who's had serious injuries to both knees, and you just love seeing a guy finally getting a chance to play after missing the better part of a couple of years.
And just got a foul because when he caught the ball, he looked at the basket. And just looking at the basket got Kihei Clark thinking about shot. And then when Harris drove it, he wasn't prepared for it. Had put 2 hands on the ball handler.
Boy, quick release by Manek off the back of the iron, and now here comes Clark.
Every time you catch it, you need to look to the basket. Look at the rim, and your peripheral vision will pick up everything below it.
Clark into the paint, can't get a shot off.
So you have to be prepared to guard 25 seconds of possession when you play against Virginia.
How good is that little, you talked about being a mid-range savant, a little step back, create some space, never gets it blocked.
In a way, it's like an old school game, but you can sit and talk about old school. There weren't a lot of old school players that were that good at his size in the mid-range. It's such a tough matchup.
Bacot kicks it into the corner, and Harris rattles home a three.
Bacot could have gone up against Cafaro, maybe tried to draw a foul, but just a smart play by Bacot on the baseline to look to the opposite baseline for an easy step-in three for Anthony Harris.
And how nice is it, Jay, for Hubert Davis to have big guys like Manek and Bacot who both move the ball as well as they do.
Yeah, Manek is, for a big guy, I think an excellent passer. But without Dawson Garcia in there, good drive.
Bacot getting work done on the glass again.
I don't know how many times in practice yesterday Hubert Davis said to his players, dunk it. And you get that ball near the rim, take it up to dunk it. And that's exactly what Armando Bacot did there.
So reconcile for me, and really you could do this with Tony Bennett as well. You've got two of the nicest people in America here in this building today, and Tony Bennett and Hubert Davis. You worked for many years on a game day with Hubert. When you're as nice a guy as these guys are, how do you get your message across to your players?
Well, nice and tough competitor are not mutually exclusive. I mean, you can be a nice person and polite off the floor, but, you know, Hubert Davis gets after it in practice. So does Tony Bennett. You know, Tony goes after it even a little differently than most nice guys. I mean, I remember him talking about a defensive effort in practice, where most coaches would have questioned manhood, and he said that was anemic. It's like, okay, so that means what, like low blood plasma? Anemic. Okay, need more iron. I get it. He got his point across.
Armando Bacot's getting his point across today. Bacot now with 17 points to go with 13 rebounds, and there's a whole lot of basketball still to be played.
Carolina getting into the lane where they can make a play.
Boy, Beekman is one of the premier curlers in America, don't you think?
Yeah, he's a great cutter. Moves really well without the ball. He's just a jump shot away from being a complete player.
Davis in the corner. Tipped back out by Manek, and another opportunity for the Tar Heels. And it pays off. Love drills another one.
That will go down as 3 points off an offensive rebound, as second chance points. Wasn't the typical North Carolina offensive rebound right next to the bucket, but Carolina's keeping the ball alive.
Franklin with a runner that drops.
Cafaro set just a great screen there. When you come off shoulder to those big shoulders on a curl, it's hard for the defense to deal with it.
Now the hard double by Cafaro, and Love somehow gets out of it.
Yeah, Cafaro cannot allow himself to get split there. Good pass.
Manek blocked by Cafaro. Bacot again.
He just gets to the front of the rim. A big part of offensive rebounding is going to the glass every time, and that's what Armando Bacot does.
Cafaro might have gotten away with an elbow. Manek got knocked down, and then Harris fouled by Franklin.
We need a breakaway foul in college basketball like they have in the NBA. Caleb Love and Armando Bacot each doing their own thing. Bacot inside and Caleb Love. There's a lot of love for that kind of shot here at Chapel Hill. He's having another great game.
One of the greats in this program, Tyler Hansbrough, had 4 outstanding years in Chapel Hill, the 2008 National Player of the Year. He is watching the Heels take on Virginia this afternoon, and also Danny Green is here, part of an NCAA championship team. Danny Green was honored at halftime for a $1 million gift that he has made to endow a men's basketball scholarship here in Chapel Hill, and a hug for his coach, Roy Williams, who was here for that ceremony as well.
2 great players that played on that magnificent 2009 NCAA title team for Roy Williams in North Carolina. And Danny Green has had an outstanding NBA career as well.
Well, looks pretty relaxed in retirement. He's got a good seat. Got his granddaughter with him. Got a stat sheet in hand. Grooving a little bit to the music. Roy's in a good place right now. Where does Virginia find offense, Jay?
I think they have to find it. Well, if Kihei Clark makes this, that's a big bucket. But they've got to keep going to Jaden Gardner. And he's their best chance to get consistent scoring. Reese Beekman's got 11 points. He's had a great game with his passing and cutting and defense. But I think Gardner's got to be the guy on the offensive end that's got to touch the ball every time down.
If you're just joining us, Carolina's been led by Armando Bacot and Caleb Love. Bacot with yet another rebound and a putback. Down on the court is Caden Shedrick.
He took a shot. He just powered. Bacot just powered right through Caden Shedrick. And he's bleeding. There's a lot of blood coming down. That's going to be cleanup on aisle 3. He just shot right into him and caught him with an elbow as he went up. They're going to have to take a look at that. I don't know whether they call that a basketball play or sort of incidental contact. And incidental contact doesn't mean that it wasn't difficult, violent contact.
And Armando Bacot has had a very productive and very physical afternoon. And there, it's, as Jay said, it's on the really the second move when he went up to score, when he got Shedrick with the elbow to the nose.
I mean, he was clearly using his off arm to shield away the defender. Whether it's an F1, we'll have to find out.
Roger Ayers comes over and says it was a basketball play, going up for a shot, inadvertent contact.
And I think that's the right call.
Tomorrow on ABC and the ESPN app, got Cincinnati taking on Memphis, 3:30 Eastern at 12:30 Pacific time. Games out of the ACC to keep an eye on tonight. A couple of games coming up on the ACC network later on tonight. Notre Dame at Georgia Tech, and also Miami at Duke. We've talked a little bit about Jim Laranaga's team as Caden Shedrick gets some medical attention on the Virginia bench. Miami healthier this year than they've been the last couple of years, and the Hurricanes are a really interesting team right now.
Yeah, Cam McGusty and Isaiah Wong, 2 outstanding scorers. Charlie Moore, I think Charlie Moore is on his 4th team this year with Miami.
They will get a great test tonight just down the road from where we are at Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Virginia's not really looking inside to Cafaro when he posts up. So you can play behind him because they're not throwing it in there.
And Cafaro may be out there for a while, depending on how Shedrick is doing. Cafaro again with some good minutes off the bench for Tony Bennett in the win midweek at Clemson. He had 8 points in 18 minutes.
Carolina reversing the ball, getting a little slice cut, then screen for the screener, but it was defended really well. Good cut.
And Bacot will lay it in. Love to Davis to Bacot for the bucket.
Boy, give great credit to R.J. Davis for that outstanding cut from the corner that made the play.
Bacot, 3rd team All-ACC last year, preseason 1st team All-ACC this year, and playing like a first-teamer in the league right now.
He's playing like player of the year.
And he might have some company. Caleb Love filling it up today for the Heels.
Carolina's defensive intensity has been a complete 180 from what Hubert Davis saw at Notre Dame.
Offensive foul, Armaan Franklin. And a timeout on the floor. Carolina on a 7-0 run. And again, they're getting a great combination, Jay, of inside and outside play today.
Excellent cut and pass. Carolina has been unselfish, and Caleb Love is dropping down threes from the perimeter. And the bench loving it. They may get in. North Carolina has a little different look on the offensive end this year. A lot more ball screen action, more set plays. And Armando Bacot right now is Armaan Franklin on him, a guard. So it's a mismatch. Carolina playing 4 around 1. And they move the ball from side to side so that Bacot can get an angle. And they throw it right into him for the easy bucket. And Armando Bacot, his activity has been off the charts in this game and is having another just super productive ball game.
How about 23 points and 16 rebounds already for Bacot? Brady Manick, by the way, has got 4 assists in this game. Boy, a couple of physical guys. Cafaro and Bacot couldn't move him at all. And that's a good defensive stand there by the Cavs.
And when the ball was reversed to Bacot, he was outside the 3-point line. That is not a shot that he's going to take. Take a look at Caden Shedrick there, still after having that nose opened up and his bell rung. He took a shot there. Oftentimes the inadvertent ones hurt more than the intentional ones.
So Shedrick still on the bench. Cafaro getting some minutes, and this is about as physical a matchup as you will see between Cafaro and Bacot.
Well, this is not a great scoring lineup for Virginia right now. Where does Virginia with this lineup go for points? And without Gardner on the floor and without Franklin on the floor, that is not a lot of scoring. A little tandem up top, so Bacot will roll to the bucket, and then you get a pop from Brady Manick, but Caleb Love took the shot. Manick would have been wide open.
Love the miss there, but still 4 for 7 from 3-point range as Franklin and Gardner look on from the Virginia bench.
You know, Virginia had 2 really good wins. You know, they went up and beat Syracuse, and I thought cut up that Syracuse zone, which is a little different along the back line this year, and then avenged that loss they had to Clemson down at Littlejohn. But this has been a different deal against North Carolina with the way Carolina's guarded them.
They are 3-1 in league play. Cafaro inside, misses with a left hand.
Great position, but just faded away. Couldn't get it to go.
Manick with a clean look. Buries it.
Tane Murray was down under the basket. I don't know whether he was expecting Manick to come down and post up. But that is not what Manick does. He's a stretch 4 that plays most of his time out on the perimeter to stretch a defense.
And which way is it going? It'll stay with Virginia. 14 on the shot clock.
I thought that went off Murray, but Brady Manick coming down as the trailer, and nobody picks him up. I mean, Tane Murray was all the way down with Bacot and Cafaro.
Offensive rebound kicked out by Cody Statman. Cafaro calling for it. Over Bacot, and it goes. Huge minutes for some of the key players for Carolina. Bacot, Love, and Davis playing the entire afternoon so far. Davis, touch pass, Bacot, and he's headed to the line.
Well, that was another really good cut by R.J. Davis. Rather than just pop out on the perimeter and get it back from Manick, he just back cut and shortened it up, able to pitch it across to Armando Bacot to pick up the foul. And this is a totally different look. I mean, North Carolina did not play with this kind of pace in their half-court offense when they played against Notre Dame.
And again, they're without Dawson Garcia, who's out with a concussion, and without Kerwin Walton, who's in COVID protocols. So they are missing one starter and another guy who's in the rotation.
Yeah, and Walton has not shot the ball as well as he's capable, shooting just 35% from 3. But Garcia had been starting. He's a 46% three-point shooter. Garcia was a McDonald's All-American coming out of Minnesota. Went to Marquette and averaged double figures there, 13 points, 6-7 rebounds. How good has Bacot been in this one? 9 offensive rebounds.
And his 25th point of the afternoon.
It's not just been the productivity, but the consistency of effort game to game. He's the same player every game.
11 double-doubles in 15 games this season, including each of his last 6.
And that's, I mean, that 11 double-doubles, that's top 10 in the country.
Statman, good defense by Leaky Black. Beekman the kick. Statman the 3. Yes.
I think when Statman had picked up his dribble inside, a lot of people in this crowd were thinking, wait a minute, you're giving him a 5-second count. What about the 3 seconds he's in the lane?
7-point game at the half. Carolina really has dominated for most of the second half. Justin McCoy. And the former Who knocks one down against his old mates.
Well, that's got to feel good for Justin McCoy. Grew up in Raleigh, North Carolina. And he's a hard worker that can defend with versatility. He committed to Penn State out of high school.
Again, getting about 6 minutes per game. Probably would have had a bigger role with Virginia than he has with Carolina. Kihei Clark.
He's got to come off that down screen looking to shoot it, and that's really not his game.
17 rebounds now for Bacot. He ties the career high he set Wednesday night at Notre Dame. Boy, Beekman is something else. Can't finish it, though. And Cafaro with a foul.
But Reese Beekman didn't get that to go on the other end because it was challenged by North Carolina, but his defensive anticipation is elite.
Great Big East battle in Newark. UConn Seton Hall. What a game for Kadari Richmond.
Kadari Richmond, 25 of his 22nd in the second half. A little bully ball backing down Isaiah Whalen. Big time finish right there. And then UConn really didn't get a very good look. They didn't get the ball reversed. Didn't move the defense. Great job of trapping that ball screen right there by Seton Hall. High-level basketball game right there.
And first win for Seton Hall at home against UConn since 2012.
A big win for the Hall, and North Carolina, led by Hubert Davis, on their way to what they hope is a very nice win over Virginia. They are up 19 with 7:37 to go. And again, Armando Bacot has been the biggest story in this game. 25 points, and Jay now a career-high 18 rebounds.
Starting to give Oscar Tshiebwe of Kentucky a run. Well, Beekman almost took that away. You cannot send up a floater.
He is truly one of the elite perimeter defenders in the country.
And he never stops. He's in outstanding condition to be able to run as much as he does.
He has been out only 1 minute in the game today. And again, 3 Carolina players, Davis, Love, and Bacot, have played every second of the game. Cafaro now guarded by McCoy. And a foul before the shot.
Virginia runs an offense. It's basically, they call it sides, but it's the old blocker mover offense where with this lineup, Jaden Gardner and Francisco Cafaro will be essentially the screeners with 3 cutters working off of them. So there's fade screen action, re-screen action. It's really difficult to guard.
Crowd wanted a 3-second call. They don't get it. Statman, his second 3 of the game.
Yeah, they had 2 stay with the ball. There's not great communication by North Carolina defensively. That left Statman wide open on the wing, popping out. And Statman can really help this team if he can knock down some perimeter shots. He's a really good shooter.
And again, they're looking for all they can get off the bench. It's they haven't gotten a ton of production beyond the starting 5 this year. Love, step back 3. Rebound Beekman, and what a great outlet pass to Franklin. The foul call on Davis.
Well, that was just a great pass by Beekman to get it to Franklin to start that break. You don't see Virginia in transition that much unless it's after a turnover.
As we mentioned tonight, the ACC network has a nice game coming your way at 8 o'clock Eastern time. The Miami Hurricanes, who are tied with Louisville at 4-0 atop the league standings. They're down the road from us at Cameron Indoor Stadium to take on Duke. Don't have ACC network? Go to getaccn.com for instant access.
You know, Duke went essentially on a COVID pause after the players got back from their holiday break. Everybody went home, and a lot of players, if not all of them, tested positive. And so when they played their game against Georgia Tech, Duke hadn't been able to practice. So now they've had some time to work a little bit before they play the 4-0 Hurricanes.
Shot clock at 3. Manic. That's been the kind of afternoon it has been for Carolina.
Maybe not how Hubert Davis drew it up, but it's nice when you have players that can do that. And Brady Manick can stretch a defense as a big guy. You know, Brady Manick was a 4.0 student in high school. Wow.
Five and a half to go. Carolina by 18. On their way to going to 3-1 in league play and staying in touch with the leaders up at the top of the conference.
Manick played for Lon Kruger at Oklahoma, and one of his guards was Trey Young a few years ago. A little handoff action, then a rescreen, sort of a pick and pop. And then Manick had the presence of mind to spot the shot clock. He was going to reverse the ball, spotted the shot clock, and put it up.
Been overshadowed by Baycott, so it's a pretty quiet 16 for Brady Manick, but he's had a heck of an afternoon as well. It's just that Baycott is putting up monster numbers today.
Well, Manick had 24 points against Tennessee, knocked down 6 threes in that game, and played well against Boston College too. Had 17 points and 7 rebounds in that one. He's a really capable player. Cause some mismatch problems out there, make a big guy come out on the perimeter, and that's sort of the spread floor offense that Hubert Davis wants to play.
First 2 points of the afternoon for R.J. Davis, make it a 20-point lead.
Davis hasn't shot the ball the way he wants to, the way he's capable. He's really played. He's averaged over 18 points a game his last 2, 5 of 9 from 3, but he's defended very well. Played a good floor game.
And he and Love both much improved from a year ago. Again, Beekman with a curl. A little bit short. Runs it down. Well, you got to love the effort that he gives every second he's on the floor as Gardner misses one in the lane.
And another rebound for Armando Baycott.
20 on the afternoon.
Well, you just don't see that very often, a 20 rebound game. I mean, Oscar Tshiebwe has had 4 of them, including a 28 rebound game. That's a big time effort to grab 20 boards in a single game. And he's not done yet.
I think 9 of them have come at the offensive end. Manick again.
Dan, you know when they say a player is streaky? Well, Brady Manick's on a hot streak.
Yep.
This is the good kind of streaky.
So if he puts up a heat check shot next time down the floor, you're okay with that?
Yeah, I think a heat check is something they say when a player takes a bad shot after he's taken taken so many good ones.
Yeah, he's not a bad shot taker. Kihei Clark, no. Rebound number 21 for Baycott. He is moments away, maybe a couple of minutes away from getting as big an ovation probably as he has ever gotten whenever he comes out of this game.
A lot of Mondo burgers are going to be ordered in Chapel Hill today in honor of this 20 rebound game.
And he's headed to the line. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5-Hour Energy. It's the one when you've got to get stuff done. What a second half for Carolina, and what an afternoon for Armando Baycott, coming off a 21-17 performance against the Irish Wednesday. Puts up 25 and 21 so far today for Carolina. The first Tar Heel since Tyler Hansbrough with consecutive 2015 games. Hansbrough happens to be in the building today. That's what we call good producing.
Yeah, sitting right next to us, and next to Tyler Hansbrough to his left is maybe the nicest person on planet Earth, Hunter Morin. But Tyler Hansbrough had one of the truly great careers in ACC history. When he was coming out of high school, we did one of his high school games in Hinkle Fieldhouse at Butler. And after watching him play against Greg Oden, who at the time was playing in Indianapolis at Lawrence North, you left there saying, all right, wherever he goes, they're going to Final Four. That guy is a monster.
Well, you've talked about a guy in Baycott and just the relentless effort that he gives every minute he's on the court. Tyler Hansbrough was that and then some in his 4 years here in Chapel Hill.
Tyler Hansbrough was a different gear than any player really in college basketball right now.
If you're Tony Bennett, you go back to the drawing board tomorrow at practice and you start thinking about your next game against Virginia Tech coming up on Wednesday. What has to get better for this team?
Well, they need to get better on the defensive end and offensively as well. I mean, they've got good players. This is not a vintage Virginia roster, but I think Virginia's gotten much better since we saw them last against Houston. And one thing you know about Tony Bennett, Virginia, is they will continue to keep plugging.
Around and out for Love. This is the first time Carolina has scored 70 or more against a Virginia team in 11 games going back to 2016. And a very unselfish play as Manick feeds Bacot.
Well, I know it's not been fun for Virginia fans to watch, but just for basketball fans in general, you know, this is the way that North Carolina needs to play. The defensive intensity and the pace with which they played on the offensive end. You know, they ran. This is not an easy team, Virginia, to play against. And North Carolina did a really good job, I thought, of passing and cutting and moving with a purpose throughout the game.
Yeah, they have shared the basketball beautifully. 19 assists on 28 made field goals for the Tar Heels today, as now Hubert Davis will empty the bench, and a huge ovation coming for these Carolina starters. And nobody deserves it more than that guy.
Just a monster game from Armando Bacot. He has never been better, and he's been outstanding throughout his career. But this was a big-time performance, and back-to-back with another outstanding performance that he put up against Notre Dame.
McCorkle with a runner, his second field goal of the afternoon. So Carolina will go to 3-1 in league play, and next up for them, they don't play until a week from today. They play Georgia Tech next Saturday night on the ACC network.
Gives them a chance to get a little bit healthier, get Kerwin Walton and Dawson Garcia back.
McCoy blocked by Statman. Final minute. And McCorkle, no, but a good follow there by Igor Milicic Jr., a freshman from Croatia.
Milicic is versatile, good skill level. Well, if he can come along for Virginia, and that's sort of to your earlier question about what does Virginia need to do. They need to get contributions from more guys. They just don't have enough scorers right now to be able to withstand this kind of performance against one of the top teams in the league.
Dontrez Styles in off the bench for Carolina. Can't get it to go down. A freshman from Kinston, North Carolina.
Kinston, North Carolina is where Jerry Stackhouse is from. Reggie Bullock as well. The first time I saw Jerry Stackhouse, he was in high school. Came to Cameron Indoor Stadium playing a pickup game. And after playing a few games, Mark Allery came over to me and said, "Who is that guy?" And I said, "That's Jerry Stackhouse. He goes to Kinston, you know, he's high school in Kinston." And he goes, "That kid's in high school?" He goes, "I'm afraid of him."
And I don't want to guard him. Well, a very impressive performance for North Carolina. Armando Bacot, a career afternoon. Caleb Love, Brady Manick, terrific as well. As Carolina goes to 3-1 in league play. The loss for Virginia snaps a 2-game winning streak and drops the Cavs to 3-2 in ACC play. Armando Bacot with an absolutely enormous afternoon. 29 points and 21 rebounds, both career highs. And who would appreciate an afternoon like that more than Tyler Hansbrough? A good afternoon for Heels fans as Carolina beats Virginia. An incredible incredible afternoon for Armando Bacot. If you thought 21-17 against the Irish Wednesday was good, how about 29-21 this afternoon, including 9 offensive rebounds on the day. Relentless on the offensive glass, working beautifully in tandem with Brady Manick and R.J. Davis and Caleb Love and others. And the beneficiary of a beautiful feed near the end of the game there by his good buddy Brady Manick. How about 29-21? How about his 6th consecutive double-double? And how about the first Tar Heel with consecutive 2015 games since Tyler Hansbrough, who was here in the house to see it today. Congratulations. What an afternoon.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
How soon did you know, hey, I got it rolling today? This could be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, just coming into the game, we had a tough loss over in Notre Dame, and I just wanted to set the tone early and just be the best me, because I know in order for us to be an energized team and go out and get wins, I got to be a big-time player.
You looked, Armando, like a different team with your defensive intensity and the pace with which you ran your offense. Is that something that you guys talked about after the Notre Dame loss?
Yeah, I mean, too many times this year we've had defensive lapses on defense, and just coming into this game and going on for the rest of the season, we want to just be as locked in as possible.
Did you have any 20 rebound games in high school?
I had a few. I've been waiting for a 20-rebound game. Last game, actually, Notre Dame, I thought I'd get it. So I said this game, I got to make sure I get it.
Well, you sure did.
How much fun is it playing with another big guy? You love to pass. Brady Manick loves to pass. How much fun is that sharing the ball?
I mean, it's just great. Just his ability to shoot the ball just opens up the offense for everybody. We was missing Dawson, too, another great big. So me and Brady, we both just had to bring it to there.
So after that performance, is that a double Mondo burger, you think?
Yeah, go get your Mondo burger.
Armando, thanks very much. Congrats on a great game.
Great play.
Yeah, Armando Bacot, outstanding afternoon as North Carolina beats Virginia 29-21 for Armando Bacot, the junior from Richmond, Virginia. Again, the final score here in Chapel Hill. The Tar Heels 74, the Virginia Cavaliers 58. All kinds of NFL action coming your way tonight. For Jay Billis, I'm Dan Schulman. Thanks so much for watching. Coming up next, NFL Countdown Special Edition. Now let's send it to Sam Ponder.